Hello terrain engineers, my name is David and in my spare time I run Terrain-Tronics. I make cool little circuit boards and accessories that light up your terrain to add sound and even add vibration to tabletop game terrain, Warhammer and dioramas and so on. Later this year I'll be giving a class at Mythicon about adding LEDs to your tabletop gaming terrain. We're also coming up to Halloween in the next few weeks, so I thought I'd combine the preparation for both and share the details with you. There's also some great stuff here on this channel, so please subscribe, click the bell icon and comment below with your ideas on how this build could have been made even better. This build is a really simple crypt or mausoleum if you want to sound posh, where I've added a few 3D printed details and ultimately a Conway Castle board and a couple of LEDs. The plans for which are all available to download in the link below. It's all free. The only thing that I ask is that you get your LEDs and Conway Castle boards from Terrain-Tronics.com, or if you're in Europe, from my Etsy store. I tend to design many of my buildings using Fusion 360. Rather than 3D printing everything, I like to try and cut everything out of dollar store foam board. This usually ends up being cheaper and surprisingly faster than trying to 3D print stuff. In addition, adding textures is way easier if you don't have any 3D modeling skills. You don't need many tools to get started here. However, for the sake of speed, I chose to take advantage of some of the toys I have and laser cut the parts out of foam and card. Assembly is straightforward. I use a hot glue gun again for speed and very quickly assembled the building. I undercoated with some foam safe army painter spray. It takes longer to dry than normal spray, but ultimately faster than using Mod Podge and black paint. A generous overbrush of pewter grey craft paint followed by a few coats of barn red for the roof or dark navy gets us well on our way. Some of the interesting 3D printed details added to this building come from myminifactory.com. They are free and they are part of the Scan the World project. Some of the items come from the Thorvaldsen Museum in Denmark. They are plaques showing things like Cupid and Erato, or youth and summer, day and night, which makes some of them stand out from that terrain a little bit more. Inside this lovely new packaging is a Conway Castle LED driver that can drive up to 4 LEDs with grouped brightness control, along with a pack of flickering LEDs. These are LEDs that don't need any extra processing to make them randomly flicker like candles. Along with that, I'm armed with a wire wrapping tool and some 30 AWG wire to hook everything up easily with no soldering. To connect the LEDs, I began by inserting the wire into the wire wrap tool. Red wire goes to the longer leg of the LED. A wire wrap tool is a little awkward to use the first time, but once you get the gist, you'll soon see why NASA used them to get the Apollo computer to the moon. Now don't forget to keep the wire under tension as you wrap it, and give it a gentle pull when you're done to make sure the grip is a good one. Now wrap both wires together by holding the LED in place and twisting with the other hand. Nice and easy. I then did a test to see if it would all fit and used a CR2032 battery to quickly make sure the LED was wired correctly. Always keep a few CR2032 batteries to hand for quick tests. I don't like them for more than 1 or 2 LEDs inside a build, but for quick wiring tests, they are invaluable. Now for the power and the brains. I used a AAA battery pack with an integrated switch on this build, as it's smaller than many USB power banks. I found these on Amazon, a link below. Red and black wires can be soldered in place on the Conway Castle board to the holes marked plus and minus. Alternatively, if you can find one, use a small USB power bank. No soldering required for that. From there, the wires for each LED are wire wrapped on the Conway Castle board and tested at each point. Each connection is made under tension and finally given a pull to make sure they won't come loose. And then a little hot glue holds things in place. I designed the little sconces you see on the front to fit the LEDs behind them. 3D files are available to download when you order LEDs from Terrain-Tronics.com. The boxes come with a URL on them to link to my 3D designs for you to download and print on your own 3D printer. Sadly, It's really hard for me to compete with companies like Amazon for the LEDs, but I can definitely solve more terrain problems than they can, so support me now by going to Terrain-Tronics.com. If you have any ideas on how these crypts could be improved, please comment below. And once you've done so, please subscribe and hit that little bell. It makes a massive difference with the algorithm gods. If you're tempted to try this out for yourself, then come on over to Terrain-Tronics.com if you're based in the US, or look for the store on Etsy.com for worldwide shipping options. And with that all said and done, let's roll the glamour shots. Thanks again, folks. See you next time.